Todd, welcome.
Thank you so much.
We have heard a lot from your leader, Christopher Luxon, that he would like to revive trade talks with India, which many of us believe is the right thing to do. So, would you like to add on to that and tell us a little more about the kind of work you've been doing towards that objective?
Well, thank you so much. And it's something that's very important to Christopher Luxon and the National Party, our relationship with India. Think of it this way, there are so many tens of thousands of Indians who have chosen New Zealand as their home. They've migrated here, they work very hard, they contribute to New Zealand to make it a better place. And without those people here, actually, our economy wouldn't be, have an opportunity to become stronger. In return for that, often they go to India and come back. There are so many opportunities for New Zealanders to do more with India and Indians to do more with New Zealand. And so Christopher Luxon has sent a very clear signal under a national government elected on October the 14th of this year that our relationship with India and our trade with India will become a strategic priority. He has committed, he said in his first year as Prime Minister he'll visit India, and he has volunteered me as the Trade Minister to go to India not once or twice but often to make sure that it's very clear that a national government of New Zealand sees India as a priority. We value and respect the relationship, and we want together to grow the well-being of the citizens in both countries.
Have you, Todd, or Christopher, sent this message officially as National Party people to the Government of India that you're serious about reviving the FTA talks with India once you form the government, so that they can be prepared?
Well, look, yes, we have. We've made it very clear publicly in the India summit that we organised, which was about the relationship and all facets of it, both Indian people in New Zealand and also in our relationship with India. But I suppose when we said we want it to be a strategic priority, this trade agreement, what we were talking about is building the relationship. And so I see in many facets, there are things that we get to work together, New Zealand government with the Indian government and New Zealand with India. There will be ways that we might think to cooperate in the South Pacific. Because for any nation of the world, especially India, where they want to come and help our friends and neighbours in the Pacific develop and grow, then why wouldn't New Zealand partner in that way if we have mutual ideas of what will benefit? And there are many other areas as well that I think we can work to strengthen the relationship. So many young Indian people came to New Zealand for their education. It's concerning that as a result of COVID, borders were shut down, but that access for students has not returned, it hasn't recovered because the current government hasn't made it a priority. So we're saying that we believe that the relationship between New Zealand and India is an important one, it's a strong one, and we want to invest time into building that further so that actually those links and bonds between our two nations not only are clear to each other, they're clear to the world.
That's really good, Todd. A free trade agreement with a country like India is a complex process. It involves a magnitude of issues, and perhaps it will involve a length of time. And I'm sure that we'll have opportunities to discuss with you as we get along towards October 14th, many occasions to talk with you. But are you willing, as a government, which will, when you come in, to mix and match the FTA components to make the trade agreement with a country like India work?
Well, I think it's very important we start with a blank slate and consider all issues of importance to both sides. I was involved as Trade Minister more than 6 years ago in getting the negotiation going again. There had been 9 rounds of discussion. It had floundered to some degree, and very pleased to get that going again. Since then, there has been not enough contact with India and New Zealand officials. So I think many other things have changed over that period of time. India has started to look towards other countries for types of trade agreements and areas that 6 years ago probably weren't possible to imagine. And some of the challenges New Zealand faced 6 years ago are not the same today, in part because our economy is different. For instance, we are a country that needs foreign direct investment, particularly around the high-tech space. We're also active in many parts of the world where we're sharing our agricultural expertise, how to how to produce high quality, safe food in abundance based on research technology that New Zealand has developed over many years. And so some of the things that were harder to talk about 6 years ago probably are easier now to start having conversations about. But in my experience, there are very few things when it comes to trade that happen quickly that are good. And so we should, both sides, be committed to investing in that relationship and taking the time needed to get it right. Because if we can get an agreement between India and New Zealand right, then actually citizens, businesses of both countries benefit forevermore. And so it's a very clear commitment from my leader, Christopher Luxon, that we will be investing the time and the effort into this relationship to ensure we can get to a place where it benefits Indian people and New Zealand people.
I think it's a very good start, Todd, that your leader has said that he would revive talks, and it's also good to see that you share the same energy with your leader. And as we get along, I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about and many more opportunities. With that, I thank you and Kanwaljit Singh Bakshi, whom we call our younger brother, to have accompanied you to our office. And we look forward to talking to you again. And thanks for the visit.
Thank you so much.